All right, so this bike apparently have an issue where it's losing pressure when using the clutch. All right, so first thing I want to do is I don't want any of this fluid on my floor. So I'm just gonna open it up. I know this is gonna spill, so kind of ready already, kind of waiting for. It needs to be rebuilt. I don't see any other leaks, so it's probably letting air in. Okay, so I'm gonna be very careful here. Okay, I cracked it open. And now pulling the diaphragm out of the rubber. Actually, this is the plastic and the diaphragm is right here. So now you see that's like leaking all over. That fluid is horrible. So that's probably an indicator of how well this bike was taken care of. Although I don't think this is going to fix my issue, I will extract all of this fluid because I want to start from zero, and I'm going to bleed the brakes to see what's happening. I'm not going to be bleeding the clutch in the traditional way. I'm going to go ahead and connect this syringe to this hose, and this hose, this end, I'm going to connect to the nipple on the master cylinder at the bottom so that I can push the fluid, and I'm expecting to see the fluid here. This is going to be getting rid of all the air that's possibly trapped in the system, as well as keep pushing everything up, which I'm going to be able to collect from here and then just continue to replace with brand new fluid without having to worry or do this number here 70,000 times in order to get pressure on the clutch. So without paying attention a lot to everything wrong with this bike, let's connect this here to test it. Okay, so and then this is the number 8 that I'm going to be using to open whenever I'm ready, and I will fill this up with fluid right now, and we're gonna bring it here, and I'm also going to be putting a rag that I don't care about on the floor so that I can be ready to grab any fluids that will potentially end up here. And then I have to keep an eye on the reservoir so that whatever is filling up, I know where to stop so I can clean it up. All right, so I'm gonna start pushing fluid, so we should be able to see fluid coming up. There you go. There you go. Okay, I'm going to stop now. Okay, so I'm going to be collecting this fluid, which is nasty. I'm pumping fluid one more time. Looks cleaner. I see bubbles coming up. Fluid, I'm sorry, one more time. Oh, that's clear. Nice. That is super, super, super clean. I can see a few bubbles came out when I was applying this, so this is great. Because I can now, there's no nipple that I'm going to be bleeding here. So I'm just going to close the system right now. I'm going to put the diaphragm back. I'm expecting some fluid to kind of spill a little bit, which is fine. I'll clean it up now. And now that I can be a little bit more liberal with it. Okay, I can hear the clutch. You see all the bubbles? Let me see if I can catch them here. See if you can see them. Look at all the bubbles that are coming out. My goodness. That was even after pushing all fluid from one side to the other one. And it has super nice pressure right now. I'm just gonna continue doing that for a few minutes because it's pull. I can hear pressure is building.
All those bubbles
But if I leave
and the
it
fact
like
that liquid is actually becoming blurry, it's a good telltale sign that there's a seal broken or something happening in the system where it's actually pushing air inside, where you could actually hear it, as well as the actual piston is potentially coming in contact with some of the grease and everything else that's inside of the master cylinder, which is actually changing the color of the liquid, which means this is a bad clutch master cylinder.
Already order a new one, but while I wait for the one that I order, since this is not working anyway, I'm going to go ahead and remove the one right now so that I can be ready, and as soon as I get the new one, I can install it, bleed it, and hopefully we can get this bike for a spin, because as of right now, I took it out for a spin, but it was kind of losing pressure all the time, so I just didn't want to risk it. So now we're gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna pry here a little bit. Okay, perfect. Now let me pull the plastic and the diaphragm. I'm expecting some liquid to spill, which is fine. I'm ready for it. Now I can come here and do this, extract this, which I don't care if we get air or not, because we already established this is bad. Yeah. So now with that out of the way, I can go to the lathe and remove the remaining liquid, so that, and I can try to pump it or whatever, so that I can have at least the least amount of liquid in the system right now before I can start removing the master cylinder. To first take a 12 and remove this so that it's easier to remove the master cylinder whenever I'm okay. So I'm expecting fluid to come out. So I'm gonna grab the crush washer, put it in here, and then the other one it's inside, and just so I want to keep the line from getting any foreign items, and I wanted to keep it clean, along with my Banjo bolt and crush washers, even if I'm not gonna use them. This is probably enough. Maybe this is just an overkill, but hey, that way I don't have to worry about this coming off. So now I'm gonna come here and remove these two bolts, nice and easy. And what I'm going to do is just to keep everything tight in here, put a piece of tape in here so that bolt's not gonna come off, and I don't. Right, and this is the master cylinder completely out of the bike, and now I'm going to dump whatever remaining brake fluid is there, so just make sure that you don't lose it. Right here, I'm so curious about this thing, whether or not, I was gonna be able to rebuild it or not. And I'm a little bit bummed that I ended up buying another one, especially because I didn't want to lose the asymmetrical look of having the two gold master cylinders, which I might be able to go back to, but it's so expensive. So I'm gonna pull the reservoir out. All right, so this is a 10 and a flat screwdriver. So I'm gonna do it. Do the plunger. Do all of that with this. So here's the piston with the two very worn. So I'm guessing this right here is the part, I'm guessing this right here is the part that you're going to be kind of pressing, not pressing in, but oh, it came out. So this, oh, look at that. Yeah, it was bad because these seals are horrible. There you go. So I'm gonna go ahead and install this like so. So this is gonna go up. This was a very good surprise because, to be quite honest, I didn't even notice that this master cylinder came with the bolt for that. So that's awesome. So now I can come from the side and make this tight. Nothing like keeping everything, I mean, I don't want to say stock, but like a good replacement where you can retain all the functionality. That's awesome. Like now you can tell that I can operate freely. That's awesome. and I'm going to make it tight whenever I jump on the bike, so I know exactly where I want my clutch lever to be pointing to. Okay. I believe this is a 5. Yep. So I'm just gonna make it super, just a little bit snug. So now I have a new Banjo and the 2 crush washers. So I'm going to put one of the washers here, like so, and then another one right here. And now we have new mating surfaces for both the Banjo and the Masters. Okay. I'm going to bring a 14. I'm gonna do something very dumb, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna do everything through a bag. That way I can leave I want to leave a bunch of marks in here. So I'm gonna start crotching them. It's not like this bike is pristine, Richard. Just kidding, it's not. I know it's not. Okay. And now the next thing I want to do, and by the way, if I didn't mention this, I bought a 45cc, or actually 15cc Brembo Reservoir, which is going to be connected here. I also purchased some Tygon line. So I just stole this from my ZX14, which is not running, so might as well just do something with it. So I am trying to see if I can use this, because I'm dying to take this bike for a spin, even though tires are 10 years old. Okay, so I want to see if I can position this like so, and maybe I can use this. Oh, actually, this might be good. I don't know if this is tacky or not, but this was on my CX14, which don't say anything, please, about being tacky. All right, so this is going to be temporary, but I can, like, temporary this. So I'm just gonna cut some of this Tigan, and I'm just gonna make a straight shot. It's higher than the Reservoir, so I feel good about that, but it's not so high that, you know, it's gonna interfere with the tank or my hands or like the whole overall look of the bike. So I'm pretty happy with that right now. So okay, bring the big boys. Okay, I have some remaining Tigan that I can use. Need to push it forward now. Okay, I did it a little bit longer than what I need on purpose, so that whenever I get the final bracket, if I need more, I can use more. Okay, so here you can see. So like I said, I'm going to be redoing this with a different one, but as of right now, this is a pretty straight shot, and I can just fill it with liquid, and I should be able to start bleeding this thing as soon as I get some fresh DOT4 or DOT 5.1 or whatever. Similar to last time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, instead of starting to put fluid in here and starting to pump so that I can get pressure, I'm going to pump the fluid from the bottom. So I just put fluid here. I don't want it to touch the tank because, you know, it can remove the paint. So funny. Anyhow, so I'm going to now connect the hose right here. Let me pull this back just a tiny bit, and I might be dropping a little bit, but I already have a oil pan at the bottom, so I'm not super concerned. And I'm gonna go here and do this. All right, so it's now connected. So now reservoir is open, so I'm going to open here. Now I'm going to put some pressure here, but I'm going to start pumping fluid, and I will show you in a second as soon as I get something. I'm gonna continue pumping, but I'm going to point this to the reservoir so you can keep an eye on fluid coming through that line. I'm gonna open the bleeder a little bit more. Okay. and you can tell that there's fluid coming through, still rising maybe a little bit. So I'm going to put a little bit more. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close the bleeder. So what I'm going to do is catch it with this and flip it right away. Okay, so now I should be able to put the diaphragm. Now I'm going to spill a tiny bit because I'm leaning on this side, which, you know, we already talked about. The fact that oh, actually, I don't think I spilled anything. Maybe a drop. That's awesome. And now let me show it to you. This is how it looks. Looks nice. Honestly, looks clean. No drops. No drops in here, but no drops in here. No drops here, nor here. So now let's remove this for the first time, and let's see how it feels. Okay, I'm expecting to get some bubbles, and it might take a second. Oh, I just realized that I never actuated this, and I'm clicking this. I have to move this down a little bit so I can. Okay, there you go. Okay, so now I'm waiting for this to build some pressure. And I'm now, if I don't get pressure right away, what I'm going to do, I'm now looking for leaks, but there's still nothing. It's pretty dry right now. So what I'm gonna keep doing this for a second. I might leave it here. Once I start to get some pressure, what I'm going to do is just to like leave it like so, pinned like that, and then I put a zip tie over it so that it builds pressure, and then the micro or the small bubbles, they're just gonna surface. But now that I did it from the bottom, I'm expecting that it should be easier than starting from the top. So I'm going to bleed it just the traditional way. So I'm going to now to see if I can extract some air from the system after, you know, applying some pressure in here. I can start. I'm already getting some pressure. That's awesome. So I'm gonna do the traditional thing. So what I'm going to do is to start building pressure. Sorry for the mess. It looks ugly right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is gonna suck. Okay. There's some liquid. Close it. All right. So it took me a couple, like maybe 3 times of just kept, you know, kind of pushing this until the point where I now have some pressure. And if you look here at the clutch, I don't know if it's easier. You can see some movement. So it's starting to move. It's not, it doesn't want to fix it on there. So it has some movement. So it's starting to get some pressure now. So I can definitely feel the pressure like at the very bottom, like when it gets closer to the grip. So what I'm going to do is like I said before, I'm going to put it like so. I'm gonna put the cap, get it close here so it's compressing the piston, and then just forcing that pressure is just gonna bring all the micro bubbles, and I'll just leave it overnight, and I'll come back in the morning and then just release the pressure. I have any zip ties. I believe it or not, I ran out of zip ties. That's crazy. So I'm gonna put pressure here. Okay. Actually, I'm just going to do this here, which is so. Okay. Now I'll leave it like that for a few hours, and I'll come back, and I should be able to. This is going to help the small bubbles just to kind of surface. So they're just gonna stay here, and we'll open it, and then we'll give it a couple times, and then we'll give it a try later. All right, so it's been about 6 hours, I want to say. So I can relieve the pressure. I was looking here. No. All right. Feels great. I was just checking for leaks. Doesn't seem like there's any leaks. Perfect. No leaks here. No leaks here. So this actually seal great.
And now I'm going to operate, and I have good pressure, which is great. So now I want to come on this side, and I'm going to be actuating. So I have decent pressure right now. So I only need to do this and we should be good. So I can replace this with like better looking bolts and maybe get that final bracket that I want to install in here. And eventually then I'm gonna go and move to this one and do the same and maybe replace it with the same. I actually like the gold, but I think I like the black better. And I'll think about what I want to do with the levers, if I want to keep them OEM or if I want to go a different direction. So yeah, let's take the bike for a spin.
All right, so I wanted to give you guys an update in case you guys have not ever done this before. So I kept my lever pressed overnight. So I released it about an hour or two ago, and I've been coming back to it, and I've been watching bubbles come out of the system. So the fact that this was applying pressure, it was compressing and putting pressure all over the line, kind of going all the way up to the master cylinder, which is helping to for those bubbles to kind of escape or actually to surface to the top of the system. So you can tell there's one in here. I just freed up a couple more, and every so often I just like open this up and kind of cycle the lever, allowing for those to kind of create pressure on the line, and then they just automatically and just slowly just go up to the reservoir. It's messy. This is my first time actually testing to see how the bike works, and please don't make fun of my wardrobe because it's 100 and like I don't know, like 10 degrees right now. So I still have air in the line. There's a lot of like good pressure, but there's still like some air that's coming to the top, so that's great. I'm just keeping an eye on this and ensuring that I have enough so it doesn't be it's gonna be sucking any air. So I want to see if I can get the bike to the clutch to hold so that I'm not putting the bike on first and the bike is moving even though I have the clutch engaged. So that's what I'm going to test right now. And if it works, I'm going to take it out for a quick spin. Let's see how this goes. Try to start it. Oh, I almost have no fuel. So let me make sure that I have enough fuel. Huh. Oh, yeah, I don't think I have fuel. Oh, joy. I'm putting first. Here the clutch. That means it's working. I'm not putting first now. I'm not release the clutch. Perfect. I'm not putting in neutral. Release the clutch. Perfect. That was very successful. I need to take a look at what the heck's going on with the front tire because it feels like rubber, like gummish rubber or whatever. I don't know how I can describe it, but it feels like it's kind of weird the way it's kind of goes side to side. Maybe that worked perfectly, so it worked out. So I can still see bubbles coming, which that's great because it's still, but it's working perfectly. So I'm very happy with that. So okay. It has 24 pounds, so I think we found why it felt smushy and kind of not settle in the rear. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to make these videos and you guys watch them. If you guys have questions about what I did with my clutch master cylinder, just please let me know. I'll be more than happy to walk you through it. I'm going to be putting the part numbers in the description in case you want to take a look at it, in case you're looking for something like that for your bike. So anyhow, thank you so much for the opportunity, and leave me a comment if you have any questions or email me because I always leave my email address so you can contact me and I'll be more than happy to get back with you. So thank you so much again for the opportunity.